Well, hello students. Today we're going to be multiplying polynomials. Before I do, there are some vocabulary words you need to know. And the first one is a binomial. And a binomial is an algebraic expression of the sum or difference of two terms or monomials. So in this lesson, you are going to be multiplying a binomial, two binomials. You might going to be multiplying a binomial with a trinomial. And some examples for a binomial are 3x plus 6, x squared plus 3x, 3x to the third power plus 4, x plus 8, and 4x squared plus 9x. All of these are binomials. Just think about it. Binomials are two terms that's dealing with a sum or a difference. So a trinomial is the same thing, but you're dealing with three terms. An example of that is x squared plus 3x minus 4, and then you have 4x squared minus 5x plus 6. These are trinomials because you have three different terms. This one, the degree is the second. This degree is the first. This degree is the zero because you have no variable next to it. Now, like I said before, you're going to be multiplying binomial with a binomial expression with a binomial expression, or a binomial with a trinomial. We're going to be mostly focusing on binomials in this case. And there are three different ways you can do this. The first way that you can multiply binomials is by distributive property. And distributive property is just like what you did before, except for you're dealing with algebraic expressions. So let me give you an example. This is a question in your classwork. C minus 6, and you're multiplying with C minus 4. So distributive property, if you remember, is you taking whatever is on the outside of the parentheses and you're distributing or multiplying with everything that's inside. Well, that is the case for this when you're dealing with binomials, except you're taking each of the terms of the first binomial and multiplying with every term of the second binomial. Okay, so I'm going to take the c first. I'm going to take the c, and remember, this is an imaginary 1 is the power. C to the first times c, and you're multiplying here. This is also c to the first. So c to the first times c to the first is c to the second. Now I'm going to take the c to the first and multiplying with that with the minus 4. In this case, we also can say this is negative 4. So c to the first times minus 4 is negative 4c to the first. Or you can just leave it as negative 4c. Now, I already took the first term of the first binomial. I'm now going to do with the second one, minus 6. I'm going to multiply, or negative 6 multiply with the c to the first. And that is going to be negative 6c. And then I'm now going to do negative 6 times negative 4. Negative times negative is positive. So this is going to be a positive 24. Okay. Now I'm going to be combining like terms in this side. I have c squared. I have no other squared terms here. So I have c squared. I'm going to write that down there. Now I have c's. Negative 4c. And I'm going to add that to negative 6c. So negative 4c minus 6c. And then 24, this is a positive 24, so I'm going to put plus 24 here. I combine like terms, so I can combine these. So c squared minus 10c plus 24. And that is my answer. Basically, when you're multiplying, you get an algebraic expression. But in this case, a binomial multiplied with a binomial will give you a trinomial. Another way you can do this, and it's called the box method. Now think about box method, it's just like Punnett squares. If you remember in science and biology, remember box method, it's just like Punnett squares. I have a binomial with a binomial here. I'm going to multiply them together. So I'm going to say that this is going to be a box which it has a side that has two sides here for each of these individual boxes for this side. And the same thing with this one. I have two individual sides for this box here, or this side right here. I'll take each of these, c minus 6, and I'm going to put it. It doesn't matter where you put it. C for the first term, minus 6 on the same side, but right below it for this part of the square. And I'm now going to put c and then minus 4 next to it. Now how I'm going to do this is that, remember when you're taking or finding the area of a rectangle or a square, you're multiplying those two sides together. So c, and remember this is an imaginary 1 for both of them, c to the first times c to the first. You're adding the exponents together. C to the first times c to the first is c to the second power. C to the first times negative 4 is negative 4c. Negative 6 times c is negative 6c. Negative 6 times negative 4. These are double negatives, so you're multiplying them. It becomes a positive 24. So when I have my product, that will be inside of the box. Now inside of the box, I'm going to combine like terms. I have c squared, but I have no other squares here, so I'm going to write it here, c squared. And then the c's, as you can see there, it's a little bit blurry there, so I'm just focusing it for you. I have c with a c here, so I'm going to combine these. And when you combine them in the box method, it's usually diagonal. Negative 6c plus a negative 4c is a negative 10c. And then the 24, I don't have any other numbers by itself, so I have a positive 24. And it's just like what we just did with the distributive property. Okay, so that is the box method. The last method that we're going to learn is called the FOIL method. Okay. So, FOIL method. And this is the third method that we're going to learn. So the FOIL method is like an acronym. And F means first, O means outer, I means inner, and L means last. So when you're trying to multiply binomials here, in this case, you can use this method as well. I'm going to use the same two binomials, c minus 6 multiplied by c minus 4. Now, first, You're taking the first two terms of each of the binomials and you're going to multiply them together. So this is my first. C times C is C squared. And I can do it right here. C times C is C squared. Outer, I take the two outside terms, C times 4, and that equals 4C. So this is my outer. Inner, I'll take the two inner terms and multiply them together. So negative 6 times C is negative 6C. So this is considered to be my inner. My outer is going to be the last two terms of each binomial. Negative 6 times negative 4. That is a positive 24. So just like what you did with distributive property is about the same thing. Combine like terms. C squared of 4C. Oh, and this is supposed to be negative, sorry. Negative 4C plus a negative 6C is negative 10C. And then negative 6 times a negative 4 is 24. I don't have any numbers here, so it'll be plus 24. And voila, that is your answer. So depending upon what you used, you can use either the distributive property, the box method, or the FOIL method to multiply binomials. The FOIL method is very significant. I'm going to put a star here. The FOIL method is only used for binomials. Okay? Only binomials. You can't do it any other than binomials. If you do it with trinomials, it's not going to work. So if you have a binomial with a trinomial, you can use the distributive or the box method. But you can't do it with the FOIL method. Now, there was a question on the mock exam dealing with finding the area of a rectangle given these two algebraic expressions. Now, this probably is not the same expressions that you found on the test, but it's about the same concept. So if I have a rectangle and I'm going to find out the area, and it's going to give me an equation. You have to find the equation of the area. They don't give us the units, so we're not going to worry about that. Remember, the area is the length times the width. So when we do this, we're going to multiply this algebraic expression with this algebraic expression. So I'm going to use the box method. So I'm going to take each of these terms. It doesn't matter where you put them, but you always have to put that one algebraic expression on the same side. 3x plus 1, 5x minus 3. If you want to pause the video, you may, so you can work this problem. Go ahead and do so, and then play it again so you can find your answer. 3x times 5x, 15x squared. 3x times negative 3 is negative 9x. 1 times 5x is 5x. That's a positive 5x. Positive 1 times negative 3 is a negative 3. You're multiplying from the outside if you're doing box method. Inside, you're adding or combining like terms. Okay, so that's why I'm going to put a plus here in the middle. You're adding like terms. I have x squared, 15x squared, and this is going to start with a equals. Now, this diagonal, this is both x's, so I'm going to combine these together. Negative 9x plus 5x, then minus 3. It's a tight squeeze there, sorry. Now combine like terms. I know I have x's here. 15 x squared negative 9 plus 5. If you lost $9 and you gained $5, are you still in debt? Or are you still in debt, or you have money with you? Well, I'm still in debt because I'm still below for what I had. So it's going to be a negative 4x. Then minus 3. So this is going to be my algebraic equation for finding the area of a rectangle. I have some questions for you to do. That is the classwork. I want you to do these 6. We are going to go over these in the second half of class. If you have any questions, let me know.